For years and years, I've been the type of person that sits at my desk in sitting positions that some might call unergonomic. I put my shoulders forward and I lean into the computer screen, and over time this slowly became a really bad habit for me. Up until recently, I would walk around with a hunchback that kept on getting progressively worse and worse. The most embarrassing moment for me was actually 8 months ago. Basically, I was working at a doctor's office for an orthopedic surgeon, and during one lunch hour, he stopped by my desk, noticed me slouching over my computer screen, and told me in front of my peers to keep my back straight. Yeah, I got told by an orthopedic surgeon. So from that day forward, I decided to put an end to my back slouching problems once and for all, and I searched vigorously on the internet for anything that can really help alleviate my problem. And one day, while I was on Amazon, I came across this device. It's the Upright Go 2 Posture Trainer, and it helps you achieve basically healthier posture habits naturally. Now, what does naturally really mean? Well, the best way is to compare it to a product that a lot of people use to fix their posture, and it's one of those elastic bands that you use to wrap around your upper torso. And keeping it strapped on you does indeed keep your back straight, but the moment you take it off, you go back to your old tendencies, your old slouching problems, because basically your body hasn't developed the necessary muscles to keep your back straight quite yet. Now, the Upright Go, on the other hand, acts as a little reminder for you to keep your back straight, so that you are able to develop those necessary muscles. The best analogy I can think of is basically having your mother be with you at all times and reminding you to basically keep your back straight. So, how does this device actually work? Well, I'm about to spit out a lot of facts. Basically, it's a small device, roughly the size of your thumb, that vibrates whenever the device senses that you are slouching. It relies on some sort of sensor that can basically detect whenever the body dips below a certain threshold angle, and it gives you a certain amount of time to correct the posture. Otherwise, it's going to send a nice adjustable vibration. The device can also use Bluetooth technology to connect to your smartphone, and there's an application that you can download on both iOS and Android, I believe, that syncs with your Upright Go 2 device, where you can track a lot of things if you want, like your stats, your slouch time, and adjust the vibration intensity, as well as set the parameters, which I will discuss in a little bit. The app also has a 24/7 customer support on the application itself, where you can chat with a customer service representative that is actually an actual human being. The device is said to be placed near the upper region of your torso, and there are these adhesive strips that can latch onto the underlying skin. Battery life is marketed to be about 30 to 40 hours, and the device uses USB-C for charging. Finally, Upright gives you this charging case for your Upright Go so that you can charge the device without having to ruin the adhesive strip, since there is a sort of valley that prevents the strips from interacting with the outside environment. That was a lot of information, right? So I've used the Upright Go for about 1 to 2 months after I first purchased it back in September, and I stopped using it in between December of 2020 and February of 2021. So let's start off by talking about each of the features that the Upright Go 2 has and my personal opinion about those features. First of all, the construction. The Posture 2 is the device that's made out of plastic, and it's actually quite lightweight. While I'm keeping the device on me throughout the day, while I'm at work or I'm sitting at my desk, I sometimes completely forget that I actually have the device on me. The adhesive strip doesn't cause any itchiness whatsoever. And speaking of the strips, Upright actually supplies you with about 10 to 15 of these strips, which should probably last for about 1 to 2 months or so, since you can reuse these adhesive strips, and they hold their stickiness actually quite well. That's of course assuming you don't mind reusing strips that have been on your sweaty back all day. Battery life on the Upright Go is very, very good. A single charge can keep this device running for about 3 to 4 full work days in my own experience, which is about the 35 to 40 hours that they advertise. Connecting the device to your smartphone, however, is an absolute nightmare. Sometimes I have to keep turning on and off the Upright Go 2 device just so it can sync properly with my smartphone. This is likely some sort of Bluetooth issue with the device that I'm sure Upright could fix with something like a software update in the future. But for now, connecting the device to the smartphone is an absolute pain. One problem with having sensors on the Upright Go 2 is that it can't really differentiate between tasks where you need Upright back and tasks where you don't. For example, when you're bending down to pick something up, or you're hunched over to eat your meal, or even when you're doing a homework assignment and you need to hunch over to do your handwriting, the device will send off a vibrational reminder to keep your back straight until you manually turn it off. So while it is great for someone who works at a computer desk all day, this device might not be really ideal for someone who does a lot of handwriting or does eating for a living for whatever reason, where you actually, in most cases, have to hunch over to do whatever task you need to do for eating or for handwriting. So during the 1 to 2 months I really relied on this device, I definitely noticed that my posture improved quite a bit. And after 2 months, I was able to go off this device for a period of time, and I still retained my healthy posture. During that period, whenever I got the sense that my back was slouching, I naturally moved my shoulders back to adjust my posture, almost as if it became a really good habit. But in November, as I continued to stop using this device, I noticed that my posture habits started getting worse and worse. And it's not a problem with the device itself, really. It's more of a problem with my own issues. It's basically my own issues. I didn't fully develop the long-term habits of posture fixing quite yet. So I think this device is something that should be worn for multiple months before fully getting off the device. Otherwise, you'll be just like me and fall back to your old tendencies after 1 to 2 months. Last thing I want to talk about the Upright Go 2 is the price. So this device currently is $100 US, and that is a steep price for a lot of people. This is without a doubt a luxurious device, and I personally think it's overpriced. At the time of its release, there weren't any other devices out there, as far as I know, that did the same thing that the Upright Go 2 and the Upright Go original did. Now, at the time of this recording, there are other companies releasing products that do similar things that the Upright does, which is basically sending off vibrational reminders, and is making it more difficult to recommend this device to people. So overall, the device does exactly what it advertises. It keeps your posture straight and does train you to get into the healthy posture habits. When keeping this device on me, I really did notice that my posture improved, and other people around me did too. While it is expensive, I think it's a clever device that gets you to naturally develop good posture habits. But with the price being, set in, I really think that people should look into other alternatives, such as those on Amazon that cost for around $30 and does exactly what the Upright Go 2 does. With that being said, this has been Dan with the review of the Upright Go 2, and I'll see you in the next one.